I'm just getting back from an amazing time in Morocco with 100 Black women from the Exodus Summit community, with 100 Black women who have pulled me aside one at a time and told me how the work that I'm doing and the work that my homegirls are doing on our YouTube channels and in our coaching programs and in our virtual summits and in our retreats has changed their lives. I think that all Black women should be able to live their dreams. And I really am glad to be a part of a community where this is normalized. I want to talk today about some things that you can do if you feel like you need a change, but you don't know what, right? If you feel in your life that you need a change, but you don't know what that change is, you don't know how to get started, I want to tell you about the 4 things that I noticed that are kind of common in the stories that the women sat down and told me over the last week in Morocco. In London and Delaware and coming up in Joshua Tree. We've had a lot of meetups around the world recently. And I get to hear women's stories over and over again. And yes, everyone's story is different and everyone's story is emotional and exciting and significant. But there are some things in common. So I'm going to talk to you today about 4 things that you can do, you, Black woman, things that you can do to get the change that you need in your life, to figure out what it is, and then to put it into practice for yourself. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School and the co-creator of Exodus Summit. I help Black women house sit, take a career break, move abroad, bop around as a nomad, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, please take a second and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, please, and turn on notifications. Ring that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. All right, so I have to preface this with I'm not a life coach, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I'm just a woman who got to live a new life, right? I'm just a woman who got to reinvent myself at the age of 41. And because of that reinvention, I get to talk to a lot of other Black women who are in the process of reinventing themselves, right? Of opening up their lives to a whole new set of possibilities. And so that's where I'm coming from. That's what we're going to talk about today. Sometimes when Black women come to me for coaching or whatever, or just commenting on my channel, and they say that they want a change, their first instinct is to do a whole bunch of things, right? Try a whole bunch of things that are traditionally considered acceptable for Black women in order to make a change in their lives. So what I'm talking about is a woman will feel like there's something missing, right? She's feeling unfulfilled. She's done all of the things that she's been told that are supposed to lead her to the life of her dreams, but she's found that actually she's living the life of someone else's dreams, and what she wants is still buried. She still has no idea what she wants. And so she'll say, I'm going back to school. I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to do this, do that, like do a whole bunch of things that are check marks in the Black excellence, achievement, Black achievement list, right? The list of Black excellence and Black achievement things that Black women are supposed to want and supposed to go after. Some of these things are the right fit for some Black women, right? But these things as a whole, this prescription is not for you, most likely. And what happens when you start doing a whole bunch of things in order to find yourself is that you just bury yourself even deeper. You bury your own dreams and your own desires even deeper by chasing after someone else's goals, right? Going after a goal post that's never going to lead you to the things that you want for yourself. So the first thing that you should do if you know that you need a change and you don't know what that change is rest. Do less. Take things off of your plate instead of adding more to your plate, which seems to be the natural way that we do things, or maybe not natural, but the learned way that we do things. When we think we need something, like something is missing, we start adding a whole bunch of other responsibilities and commitments onto our schedule. Instead, do the reverse. Get rid of some stuff. Take it off your plate. Abandon it. Abandon some things. Some dreams that other people gave to you, some degree plans that you never even intended to complete anyway. You just like to You just thought that telling people that you were in school would help them treat you a little bit better. Some business ideas that are not a good fit for you and you already know it, and you're not even interested in it, and it's boring and it's draining you, or it's the opposite of boring, it's too upsetting and too stressful and it's literally killing you and poisoning you. Abandon some things. The path to you, Dr. Tama calls it your homecoming, right? Your homecoming is not going to be found in exhaustion. Your homecoming is not a result of you grinding, right? You need rest. You need time to listen to what's actually going on in your mind. You might find the answer really clearly once you get some quiet and some silence. So step 1, do less, rest, and listen. That sounds like 3 steps, but it's 1 step, okay? Step number 2, the second thing that I think women who have made this change, right? Women who have found reinvention and transformation, right? I think the second thing that they have in common is that they don't edit their dreams. The women who I talked to didn't say, I wanted to do XYZ, but it seemed impossible, so I took it down a few notches and I decided to do PDQ, right? No, none of them said that. They said they had a dream and they worked towards that dream. They even talked about how things started to unfold for them so amazingly once they were able to say out loud, this is the thing that I want for myself. The Exodus Summit community who had the meetup is a community for Black women who want to move abroad or who want to spend significant time out of the United States or Canada or the UK or wherever they live, right? It's for Black women who are moving towards living abroad or towards taking a sabbatical abroad. But your thing can be something totally different. I'm just telling you that these are women who, for some, the idea of taking a year or 2 years of your adult life off of work, right? Spending a year or two of your adult life not working seemed impossible until they started making the effort to make it possible. And then the universe, life, God started to just unfold for them and make things that would have seemed impossible to them previously possible, reality. I think that's called alignment. I think that once you have a clear vision of what you want for yourself, and once you're able to admit it, confess it, speak it out into the world, I think that things do start to conspire in your favor. And the women that I got to speak with in Morocco over the last few days, over the last couple of weeks, verify, they prove that point. But if you don't have any idea what the thing is, right, you don't even know what it is, it may be easier for you to get clear on how you want to feel. This is a thing I've learned from Brown and Bendy, who is a YouTuber named Dominique. She talks about the feeling, about how you want to feel. Sometimes the thing that we want is really just a side effect of how we actually want to feel, right? What we really want is the feeling. The thing that comes along with that feeling is just like an added bonus. So if you don't yet know exactly what you want for yourself, how do you want to feel? You probably have a really good answer and you can say it out loud now. If you'd like, go ahead and type it in the comments. I'll tell you how I want to feel. I want to feel like abundance. I don't just mean I want abundance pouring on me, which has kind of been happening lately. I want to feel like abundance. I want to give abundantly. I want to receive abundantly. I want to share and experience abundance and joy and peace. All of those things, right? These are the things that I want to feel. It makes it really easy when I say, well, what do I want for myself? It really makes it easy to say, this is a yes and this is a no, because I know how I want to feel. And if the thing that someone is presenting to me isn't going to make me feel like abundance, it's not going to feel like peace and joy and love and support, then I don't want it. Easy, right? Easy to say yes to yeses and no to nos. So knowing how you want to feel is a wonderful starting point. Some of the things that you think, going back to the first point of resting, not adding more to your plate, actually taking things off your plate and doing less, right? Sometimes the things that you think you want aren't the things that you want. They're just feelings that you want to go after. Once you actually achieve that feeling, you may no longer want the thing. I don't know if I'm being clear on this. Let me know if I need to clear this up some more in the comments. But you might think that you want a doctorate, let's say, right? You may think, I want to go back to school. I want to earn my doctorate. If you sit down and write out how that will feel, How will you feel when you have that doctorate? You may find what you actually want is to be treated with respect, and you want to be paid a handsome amount of money, or handsome amount, a big sum, right? You want to be paid a grip, you want to be treated with respect, and you want some free time. And you think that once you earn your doctorate, these things will come to fruition for you. It'll be easier for you to receive those things. Maybe, just maybe. I think that if you instead start living now in a way to make sure that you are now treated with respect, that you are now compensated an adequate or fair or sufficient or abundant amount of money, and you now make sure that you have free time in your life and that you use that free time for yourself. I think you may find that you don't want the doctorate, right? You don't want the effort that comes along with the doctorate. You just want to be treated with respect. You just want to make a good amount of money. You just want free time, right? So start with how you want to feel and ask yourself, if you felt that way today, would you still want that other thing? Some of these things, it would be a yes, right? But some would be a no. As a house sitter, I get to be engulfed in luxury without the price tag of owning, affording, and upkeep and maintaining a luxury home, right? I get to just enjoy that a little bit of a luxury lifestyle, few weeks at a time, without having the downsides of luxury home ownership, right? Or any kind of home ownership, and owning a home with a pool and having landscapers and contractors, and right. It is okay to take the easy way to that feeling. I have the feeling of luxury and abundance in my life without the headaches and the price tags of luxury and abundance. So getting the feeling may very well take away your desire to have the actual thing. I think that's good. I think that's a bonus. I think it's a plus. Okay, so thing number 2 to do if you know that you need a change is to not edit your dreams. It's not up to you to decide whether this is realistic or not. If someone has it, my philosophy, if someone has it, it's realistic for me, right? But don't edit your dreams. And then also 2A or 2B would be identify the feeling that that thing would give you. How do you want to feel? I submit that that's way more important than the actual thing. Okay, the third thing that all of the women have in common who talk to me about their changes in their lives, who talk to me about reinventing themselves, about achieving a life of their dreams, the third thing they have in common is that they took some action. They tried something. I love that you watch my YouTube videos, okay? I hope that you watch more. Leave some comments, share them with some other Black women. But I love even more when you do a thing, when you take a step. When you take a step, you're telling yourself, I deserve, right? When you don't take a step, part of the message that you're giving yourself is that, oh, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it. I don't like that message. So I love it when you take a step. These women took a step. And like I said, things started to conspire in their favor when they did that. It's happened for me in my life, happens for the women that I got to meet over the last few days, and it'll happen to you. So take some action. You don't have to know every step that you need to get you where you want to go, but you just need to know the next step or a step. It might even be a backward step, right? You need to know a step, take the step, right? And then work on the next and the next. The inaction, right? The inability to take action towards a thing that you want is sometimes a result of feeling like you're not worthy. But for a lot of Black women, it's a result of being really afraid of failure, right? Or being really afraid of not being good at a thing, right? I know what I need to take my life to the next level, but I'm not an expert at that. I'm an expert at me today. I'm an expert at 2022 version of me. I'm not an expert at the 2023, 2024, 2025 version of me. And so I'm just going to stay where I already know, right? Stay in the place I already know. That fear of failure is just boxing yourself in. And it's actually giving you like a regression. It's stopping your progress. And it's not just keeping you standing still. It's moving you backwards. because time continues to move forward. And if you're not also moving forward, you're going back. You're going back. You're like on an escalator, right? Because the time is moving. It's easy for me. Like I said, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. It's easy for me to say, just don't be afraid of failure. Okay. What I can tell you is it's worth the failures. It's worth you being bad at some things, right? And learning how to get better at some things over time. That's so worth it compared to you staying exactly where you are and then moving backwards and then looking back in a few years and realizing that you're not happy about any of it. So the third thing that Black women who have made a change in their lives have in common is that they've taken some action, even when they're afraid, even if sometimes they don't necessarily feel worthy yet of the things that they want or the feelings that they want, even when they don't know for sure that this is the correct step, right? These women have still taken some steps, and it has gotten them on track so that things could work out in their favor. How do things work out in your favor if you don't really even know what you're looking for? This is the fourth step. These women all got in community. They all got in community with other Black women who are making similar efforts in their lives. Again, the Exodus Summit community is for Black women who want to move abroad or who want to take a career break abroad or who want to bop around as a nomad for a while or house sit. I'll link to the Exodus Summit community in the description of this video, of course. And so the women who I got to speak with in Morocco and, like I said, London and Rehoboth Beach and Joshua Tree coming up in a few days, these women are in community in the Exodus Summit community, right? They're in community with one another right there in a place where what they want is normal. It's totally normal. Every day, someone's creating a post about, I gave my 2 weeks notice, I packed my stuff and sold off everything, I cleaned out my storage so I'm no longer tied to this location, I got a job that lets me work from absolutely anywhere, and I bought myself my first one-way ticket, right? In a place where these things are normal, it becomes a little bit easier to make progress yourself, a little bit easier to get accountability partners. That's what community does for you. Community answers your questions. Community gives you a place where you can share the information that you have from the research that you've done. Community gives you a place to have somebody say, hey, remember you said you wanted to do this thing? How's it going, right? What do you need? Getting in community with women who are working towards something similar to what you're working towards. Important. Hold on. Somebody's knocking on my door. Okay, I'm back. Housekeeping was knocking on my door. I'm actually in a hotel in San Diego for a conference. Speaking of getting in community, a thing that I'm working towards is book publishing, right? I'm publishing my own book this year, and I'd love to publish other people's work this year. So I'm in San Diego for a conference. I just landed a couple of the other day. I don't know. Who knows what day it is? And let me see. I'll show you San Diego if you want to see a little bit out of my window. Right, so I'm here to get in community with people for whom book publishing is every day. It's normal to somebody, right? The idea of writing your own book, publishing your own book, and then publishing other people's books seems impossible, ridiculous. I'm here to get in community with people for whom that's normal, right? Normalize the things that you want, the things that you want for yourself, and you do that by getting in community with people who are working on those same things, right? Normalize the things that you want for yourself, even if it's just change. It could be just, I want a change. I want to grow. I need some growth in my life. I need to, expand and try something different. You may not know exactly what it is. I guarantee you there's a group of people somewhere, either who are already getting together to talk about growth, or you can start it, right? You can raise your hand somewhere and say, hello, I'm looking for some growth accountability partners. I'm looking for a growth community. Let's start this thing together. So the 4 things Black women are doing when they know they need a change. Number 1, rest. Not grinding, resting. Number 2, don't edit your dreams. Number 3, take some action, okay? It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you're not sure if this is the right action. Take some action. Number 4, get in community with people who are normalizing the thing that you want for yourself. All right, so remember that I've linked to the Exodus Summit community in the description of this video. I'm also going to link to my new house sitter toolkit. If house sitting sounds good to you, right? If you'd love to stay in someone's home and get some free accommodation, get my new house sitter toolkit. Link to that is in the description of this video as well. Don't be afraid to let me know in the comments which step of these are you on? These are not like sequential steps, they're just steps. But you can tell me which of these steps you're on or which of these steps that you're struggling with. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please do one more thing, hit the like button on this video. Okay, one more thing. Also share this video with a Black woman you know who also is ready for a change. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.